Hello everyone and welcome to the final movie where we are going to finalize our app that is going to display the information about the websites. Okay, so we are going to focus from the line number 23 till the end because we want to simply build and finalize our app. Now one thing, in a moment you will see that there are a couple of printf statements in my code and they are commented out. I have explicitly and have kind of intentionally left them out, believe it or not, because I want to show you that I really do make a lot of mistakes while building an app. And it's not a process like I just write it once and it works. I look around on the web quite a number of times. And maybe one of my favorite places to go around is the Stack Overflow, where people is very kind and community is kind and help me quite a lot with previous comments and some new questions as well. And what once I like to do is make sure when I make sure that my app is being crashed in a between, like it's not displaying the data properly, or maybe some chunks are not being displayed, then simply I would like to have a couple of printf statements to see that at what point I have continued in my app or where actually my app is falling out. Like you can see there is a print statement. So I wanted to find out that what point my app is good. Again, I could have done that simply by clicking here and debug mode, but let's go on to the bare metal mode right now, the simple and the basic one. So what you want to do is at the line number 23, you might want to comment that out. We don't want to print right now. So once we have got raw content, then what we need to do next, first of all, is learn a way how we can filter out the data. So I am in the Chrome browser, not the Safari anymore. I would like to click on this place and I would like to look for the inspect element, which is default in the Chrome browser, and there is an add-on for Firefox and a couple of them as well. So inspect element, I can go on that and notice inside the pre, I can simply see there is a WHOIS version and all of these information. So I can directly jump on and I can simply say that if I store entire thing as a string, the entire web page, and if I filter that and store the thing in the array separated by this information that says for detailed information, let's say. So this is going to be once in the page. So my two arrays will be separated by for detailed information. So the .NET part will be one array and the one array will be this domain name until the end of the page. Now again, I can save that as a string and can filter that out as a separator by, let's say, this name server and a colon. So again, my page will be split out between the domain name till the markmonitor.com and one page would be simply like ns1 till the end of the page. So I got filtered out. Again, you can simply rewatch the video to see what I said. So I'm splitting up the page in the arrays separated by the information, and then I can do that. This is a very classic technique everyone uses out there. I'm not the first one to using it. It's a very classic technique out there and everyone like to use it. Again, if you missed it out, what you can simply see that if inspect element is not there, there is always a view page source. So you can go out there, press Command F, and I can simply search for domain name. And you can see, again, I'm here. So I can separate my information for detailed information or somewhat like that. So you can put it. Now, in case the information like this is missing, what you can do is you can put anything like that. Like I can select this and separate my entire page based on this. Make sure that you keep an eye for these backslashes. These are not just being taken as it is. You need to find a way, like you can put an extra backslashes for the codes and these backslashes to handle around. Again, look around the web for these kinds of small tweaks. Again, you can post in the questions and I can help you out with that. Okay, now I know and I understand how to separate my data in the web page. What I can do is I already got a raw content. I have created a new object that says content array. And this content array, what I'm going to do, I'll take the raw content, again put in question mark because it can be optional, it cannot be optional. So I'm using a dot and I'm saying components separated by a string. So what string you want to separate your simple array, and I can simply say that separate it as for detailed information. We just looked at it. Okay. Once you have done that, I did a couple of checks for that, like content array.count. I want to count if it is converted into the two arrays only, 0 and 1, and I want to display the 0 part of that. So again, it depends on you how you want to check it around. I liked it that way. Just came it on that instant intentionally, or instantaneously. And after that, I did a couple of checks, like if content array.count is greater than 1, I want to have 0 and 1 at least, because that's what it is working. And I want to create a new variable, that is whoisinfo. That's my final one. And it says content array, and the first part I want to filter that only. Notice 0 is the upper part of that and lower part is the one which we are having. So again, I want to filter out that lower part separated by name server. Okay, again, that part is being divided into two parts, and my information, my useful information, is in the 0 part of the array. So again, tested it onto the screen. Again, you can see that I'm a really lame guy who tests it again and again, because I always like to be sure, and you should also be. So again, and there is a method, this one, I'll talk about that in a moment. Just leave that in a moment. I'll come back here. And after that, you can see I have print whoisinfo. Again, you can simply just get rid of that by making it a comment. And I'm saying that self.siteinfo.text is equals to whoisinfo and slash. So you can change that as well. And again, you can change it to anywhere, any point or any part where you want to check it. I can simply make it a comment and again, just set it once or like that. And finally, fetch data.resume, because this was my task, the fetch data.resume. Okay, quite a lot of things because this was the fetch data. Okay, I hope everything. Now, what is this? Dispatch async and dispatch get main queue. Now, a lot of time a website takes a little bit of while downloading the entire data. Now, there are a lot of options. You can flush the queues so that data keeps on fetching out onto your application on the runtime, or you can simply flush the queue all at once and display the data on time. Again, depends what you want to do. This is going to be at that part. So if I save that, build my application first of all so that it don't get crash. So build succeeded, one warning although, and that warning is not about that. That is about simply the constraints that we have. I can verify that by simply that frame is different runtime frame for that. So I'll just run this app and I'm going to type again apple.com. And I can click on my button whois. Obviously, the website we saw that is a little bit slow, and my internet is also really the fastest internet on the world. Irony out that. But simply you can see that we were able to display the data. The domain name is apple.com. Registrar is all of that. Let's give it a try. Let's play it around. We have built it. We have worked so hard with that. I would like to play it with that a couple of times. Google.com. Obviously, you can make this app a little bit more beautiful than me by choosing a big, great background, some text before the images and all of that, and all these information. Again, not very fancy app, but you can have your own idea and create such app. The mission was to give you an idea how to take data from the internet and how to filter out that data. Again, there could have been a lot more filter than I have placed, like what happens when user don't put HTTP or user gives some URL that doesn't exist, and a ton of things can be done with that. But again, that's just a part of if and else. What happens if that, or maybe you can put the switch in case for the lots of error handling that we discussed in the Swift time. Again, these all things are just like an essay. I told you how to put the words. I've told you how to put the sentence, words, and maybe some of the essays. Now, if I say write an essay on this thing, you can obviously write that. Okay, quite interesting movie. And it was quite a good. Now take coffee break and then you can move ahead.